Marinaro, the Sick Podcast on this December 9th. The Montreal Canadiens played a 4-point game tonight versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. And how competitive were the Montreal Canadiens? Well, they weren't. The fact of the matter is the Canadiens were never in this one. They gave up 3 goals in period number 1, and the Tampa Bay Lightning chased Jacob Fowler, who was replaced to start the second period by Samuel Montembeault, who he in turn gave up a first goal on his first shot that he faced, and he gave up a total of 3 goals in the 2 periods of play that he played. All in all, Montembeault gives up 3. Dobish gives up 3. The Canadiens have a goaltending problem. The Canadiens have a defense problem. The Canadiens have a defensive play problem. The Canadiens have a defensive zone coverage problem. The Canadiens have an intensity problem. The Canadiens have a serious problem. They lose by a score of 6-1. And once again, it was a 4-point game. They were never in it. I can't wait to hear what Pierre Maguire, Maxim Lapierre, and Brian Wilde have to say. They join me on your number 1 Habs post-game show in the world, and we'll prove it again tonight. They're coming up in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us.
It's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick Podcast, your number 1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K, S-I-C-K, S-I-C-K, S-I-C-K, S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. With Tony Marinaro,
55 seconds left in the penalty, a minute and 27 seconds left in regulation time. Boston 4, Montreal 3. Lafleur coming out rather gingerly on the right side. He gives it into Lemaire, back to Lafleur. Oh!
the sickest Montreal Canadiens podcast.
You're in the ball!
Sports entertainment like no other.
Rejoint, on lui fait perdre la rondelle, une passe devant. Et c'est le dégagement et ce sera la victoire des Canadiens. Coupe Stanley pour les Canadiens, le 23e de l'histoire.
You found the dogs!
John, you found the dogs. He found the dogs.
And all together, they work the young team to the top. And now, a 24th Stanley Cup banner will hang from the rafters of the famous Forum in Montreal. The Canadiens win the Stanley Cup.
Brought to you by Energy Transportation Group. Driven to be different. Tibi. Embrace your true nature. And Playground, your premier gaming destination. It's gonna be sick.
Marinaro, the Sick Podcast. The Montreal Canadiens lose by a score of 6-1 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. I don't want to wait any longer. Let's bring in Pierre Maguire.
The McGuire Report. Presented by Vago Italian.
Restaurant Vago opened 23 years longevity. Not many restaurants open that long. Private dining rooms for any occasions, birthdays, engagements, corporate meetings. Plenty of free parking after 6. Open Monday to Saturday evenings and lunch Tuesday to Friday. Fresh quality ingredients, old world Italian classics, new Italian. Come see Tommaso, the most popular man in Westmount. He's at the front of the house. His partner Angelo is at the back of the house. Pierre Maguire, a 4-point game if there ever was one. The Tampa Bay Lightning ahead of the Montreal Canadiens in the Atlantic Division. The Canadiens going into this game 10th spot in the East. If they were going to win the game, they were probably going to go to third spot in the East, but the Montreal Canadiens not only lose, they lose big. They lose big, Pierre, and this is unacceptable, Pierre.
The first 4 minutes of the game was acceptable for Montreal. There was effort, there was hitting, there was forecheck. I thought Brendan Gallagher tried to stimulate the entire game by going after Gergensons off the initial face-off. He tried, and so did most of the team the first 4 minutes. They didn't capitalize. All of a sudden, Tampa comes down and scores Braden Point. And it's all fun. Tony, I'm not going to get dramatic and overreact, but that is a total fundamental play by Jaden Struble. You cannot defend with two hands in your stick in the middle of the ice in the neutral zone against a slick player like Braden Point. You got to have one hand on your stick, and you got to steer the guy to the outside. He's got two hands in his stick. He can't turn and go. He gets beat to the net, 1-0. And then Noah Dobson, when you're on the power play, at the end of the power play, you need to know the player's coming out. You can't have a gaff there with the puck. You cannot.
And you're absolutely right about that, Pierre. That's why most teams use two defensemen on the second wave of the power play, because they don't want to get caught with the guy coming out of the box. Max Lapierre is going to join us in just a second. Pierre, I want to say this. You're absolutely right on Jaden Struble, and you've been talking about how much the Montreal Canadiens miss Caden Gooley. Well, with Caden Gooley not there and Jaden Struble there, Jaden Struble plays with Lane Hudson. He's on the ice when good players on the ice, and he happened to be on the ice when Braden Point was on the ice. And unfortunately for Jaden Struble, I think Braden Point is just too good for Jaden Struble. Let's bring in Max Lapierre.
Maxim Lapierre, presented by Air Pura. Breathe cleaner air.
Oh, this is going to be a breath of fresh air. I tell you, who needs an air purifier? If you deal with allergies, asthma, pet smoke, poor ventilation, or even just city pollution, you'll notice the difference right away. That's why I recommend Air Pura, built right here in Quebec since 2004, using the same hospital-grade HEPA filters, carbon filters, UV lights, and even space exploration technology. Tell them Tony sent you, and I think they even need an air purifier from Air Pura in the Montreal Canadiens locker room, because they need to purify that air, because right now there must be a lot of fumes. Max Lapierre, talk to me.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. Arber Xhekaj. That's the start of what I'm saying. And the second one is...
I have a feeling we're going to talk about the man-to-man hybrid system in just a second here.
Wait, I'm just looking for it. It's the culture. Last week, people were questioning me, talking about the culture. It's again tonight. It's about the culture. What do you fight for? What are your values? What do you do? Like, where we're going with this? Look at the last 13 games. We lost 7-2, 6-1. Like, we're allowing 8 goals against Washington. Like, what is that? At one point.
Gentlemen, on this note, are you ready for the stat of the night? And I tweeted this out probably about 30 minutes ago. The Canadiens have played 29 games. They have 15 wins and 14 losses. In the 14 losses, they've given up 4 goals 4 times. They've given up 5 goals 3 times. They've given up 7 goals 2 times. they've given up 6 goals 2 times, and they've given up 8 goals once. Max, Pierre, you don't go very far when you play like that. You just don't.
No, you're not going to outscore your problems. I don't care how good your power play is. I don't care how many high flyers you think you have or toe draggers you have or slicksters you have. You're not outscoring your problems in this NHL. No chance. And I would tell you right now, and Max was a very good fundamental player. And I told you about Struble playing with 2 hands on the stick. I told you about Dobson not being aware of a guy coming out of the penalty box at the end of a power play. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of this stuff is coming down to lack of fundamentals in their own zone. And it's really bad. It's stick position, it's body position, it's awareness. These are all coachable tactics, all of them.
You know, you were talking about Dobson. He did the exact same mistake against Toronto on the PK goal they had in Toronto. He was on the wall. The puck went in the middle. He was late chasing the guy. Like it's exact same thing. Like at one point, I feel like I know that there's a lot of games this year. It's not easy. The calendar is heavy. A lot of teams, like I'm doing a lot of games on TVA Sports, and a lot of teams are flat in the second period. They're out of gas. But Montreal is a young team, and the structure doesn't protect them right now. And that's the issue. But it's easy. Like I'm reading a lot of stuff. It's easy to say, well, Marty St. Louis and the system and the man-on-man. It doesn't matter what system you're playing. If there's a guy alone in front of the net, you just release and go get the guy. Like, you know, like it's I feel like the guys are just going through the motion. You know, Pierre, you've coached some teams. When we say casual, stop being casual. It's just casual. Like, what are they doing? And the biggest point, Tony, I hope we talk about it tonight, but where are the veteran players? Like, we've been talking about the young club, and wow, we got Demidov, and we're going to be so good. Where are the veterans?
Yes, but you know what? And Max, I totally agree with everything you said thus far. Having said that, it's very important what you said. When you talk about the culture and that the culture has been maybe not there on several occasions this season, what does that say about the leadership on this team? We've been told that Shea Weber instilled a culture in the Montreal Canadiens locker room that everyone that was there learned it and were going to follow it. And they were going to teach it to other young players that didn't have the chance to be in that locker room. So Gallagher was in that locker room with Shea Weber. Nick Suzuki was obviously in that locker room with Shea Weber. Cole Caulfield was in that locker room with Shea Weber. Gallagher was in that locker room with Shea Weber. Josh Anderson was in that locker room with Shea Weber. Jake Evans was in that locker room with Shea Weber. And then after that, all these new players that they bring in. Mike Matheson, of course, is a great veteran in the National Hockey League. Marty St. Louis was part of some amazing cultures in the National Hockey League. When you say the culture, I agree with you, but this is bad. This is not supposed to happen.
Yeah, but Tony, I agree with what you're saying. We had some great veterans to set up what a good culture is, but Pierre knows that a player is either a guy that works hard and has a set of value, or you don't have it. You won't take a lazy guy or a guy that doesn't care about defending or a guy that doesn't care about blocking shot, and you're going to wake up in the morning and this guy's going to be, I'm ready to block a shot with my face for this team. You can improve a little bit, but you are what you are, right, Pierre? Like it goes like sometimes you're going to be better for 10 games, but you always come back to who you are.
So I'm going to use a team that nobody's going to want to hear about because everybody talks about how young Montreal is. Why don't you watch Anaheim play just a little bit and watch how Ryan Strome dictates the terms. Watch how Chris Kreider dictates the terms. Watch how Jacob Trouba dictates the terms. I heard of what a bad captain Trouba was. I see what he's doing in Anaheim. Not so bad. Go watch what Alex Killorn is doing in Anaheim. Those are culture setters. And you know what? I mean, no disrespect to the Montreal coaching staff because I do think they're a good staff. I do. I really do. The best free agent signing in the entire National Hockey League last summer was Joel Quenneville. There's not one coach in the league that has had the success he's had. Not even John Cooper, who crushed Montreal tonight.
Well, listen, Pierre, totally agree with what you're saying. I, like everyone else, has been watching Anaheim. I'm blown away by the maturity and the way they play for such a young team. The Canadiens are a young team. They don't play with nowhere near this maturity.
No.
The Canadiens have been blown out on so many occasions. I know you're very diplomatic and very respectful, and you always have been. And I'm not putting all this on Marty St. Louis, but ultimately it's his responsibility to have this team playing the best hockey possible. And Marty St. Louis is not in Joe Kenville's league. I mean, no one wants to say it, so I'll say it. And there's nothing wrong with that.
That's why I brought it up.
I mean, we're talking about a coach who's won multiple Stanley Cups, and we saw another one tonight who won multiple Stanley Cups as well. And the Canadiens' defensive system tonight was really exposed by a coach who knew how to expose it. I thought, but it begs questions about the system, which we're going to get to later. I've been told that Brian Wilde is with us. Let's get to Brian Wilde right away.
Brian Wilde, presented by Fruiterie de Large. Fresh foods and flavors for over 30 years.
All right, Brian Wilde from Global TV Montreal, live from the Bell Center. It looks like Maxim Lapierre has a question for the teacher.
There's a call up right now. Owen Beck, Engstrom, and Jacob Fowler just got called up.
There you have it. Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Well, can I just say one thing? I was looking at the schedule. So tomorrow night, they're going to play Toronto in Laval. And then on Friday, they're playing Toronto and Laval. So that leaves an opening on Thursday. So it's interesting. Yeah, very interesting.
Well, guys, look, I've said no to Fowler on a couple of occasions this season. You know what? No, it's early. No, it's early. No, it's early. Let's put the cards on the table. Let's say it right now, guys. The Montreal Canadiens, if there was a doubt before, there is no doubt anymore. Guys, the Canadiens have a goaltending problem. Brian?
I'm happy that just moved, because I was going to not disagree with you guys, but what I was listening to, because definitely there are defensive issues. And I think the back six doesn't play like a back six needs to play, because when you quote that Anaheim type of player there, you've got like complete players and guys that make sure that they end the night with a positive goal differential. And the goal differential on the back six of the Canadiens is among the worst in the league. Lines 3 and 4 are getting cratered. But with all of that said, I wanted to talk a lot more about goaltending, because the goaltending in the Canadiens organization right now up here has just been abysmal. It's among the worst in the league, especially in goals saved above expected, which is a really good stat. And here's another one. They're fourth last in the league, the Canadiens are, in goals allowed, right?
Yeah.
But in goals allowed expected, they're 12th. So I'm not saying that the defense has been good, but it's not shockingly abysmal like the goaltending has led the goals against to be. So this move is coming at the right time, because, I mean, you look at some of the goals, and it's hard for me, because I'm a pretty positive guy, to pick out one guy and then start hammering that. But, I mean, look at the sixth goal. It's a 55-foot shot from the middle of the ice, and it ends up hitting the middle of the goal. Like, this is tantamount to me saying, I'm going to stop that by standing here. Do you still see me?
Brian, it's not like Jacob Dobish is any better, man. This guy, I'm looking through his mask. He's got...
The first goal is a right-handed shot, Braden Point, shooting from the right side.
Yes.
So Struble has done poorly on that. It's a one-on-one. You shouldn't be beaten at all. But at least to Struble's credit, you can a little bit credit and go, well, at least he's shooting from the side somewhat.
I understand.
And he is a right-handed shot. Then you took him to a bad angle. But then Dobish lost his net completely.
He lost his net. And how about the one when he was swimming, guys? I mean, I'm looking through Dobish's mask.
Are you talking about the one where Valeno has a chance to clear and commits the cardinal sin by putting it back into the high slot? That one?
Yeah, the one where...
Because I'm on Valeno for that one a little bit, too. That can go right back into the high-scoring area.
The one where he lost his stick. He lost his stick, and then he went swimming for it, and then Crozier pump fakes a shot and passes it to Kucherov for one times it. But, guys, I mean, we're talking about Montembeault. Let's be honest here. Jacob Dobish is not any better right now. I mean, Dobish looks like he's got the fear of God in these games, and Montembeault looks like he doesn't want to be there. Max?
Both goalies, and then I'll let you talk, Max. Just to finish, both goalies are like bottom 5 in just bottom 10 since November 1 in every stat that you can find in the NHL. Like,
it is just unacceptable right now because we've seen goalies having a tough time, but now it's way too long of a period.
Way too long.
Right? Like
That's it, Max.
It's way too long. And you know what, Tony? I was looking at some clips from practices in the last few days. Yeah. And the goalies, they're over sliding during practice. So for me, there's an issue. True. Like it's sometimes like I was thinking maybe there's stress or there's something wrong. They're over sliding in the practice. Both of them.
Max Lapierre. I just want to remind everybody that's watching.
Yes.
On December the 2nd, the Ottawa Senators came into Montreal, and Fabian Zetterlund scored on what Brian and I thought was a routine save that should have been stopped after Tyler Clevin moved the puck across the ice. And I still can't believe that puck went in. Well, I'm watching that shot tonight by Radish, and I'm thinking that's Fabian Zetterlund all over again. It's a routine freaking save from 45 feet. Like, it's not a hard save.
Pierre Maguire, you said something a couple of weeks ago, and I remember what you said when the goalies were always losing their net. And a couple of weeks later, we're still talking about the goalies losing their net. You said Kent Hughes, Jeff Gordon, they have to have Eric Raymond, the Montreal Canadiens coach, on speed dial right now. They got to call him and say, can you explain to me why your goalies are always losing their net? Like, always? They're not losing their net in Laval. Are the goalies in Laval better than the goalies are in Montreal? And maybe he is, and we're probably going to find out as early as Thursday night. And by the way, does this mean that Jacob Dobish is getting sent down to Laval? Pierre?
Well, you could be like Buffalo and try to play with 3 goalies. I'm just kidding.
Well, with the way they played defense, they should probably put all 3 of them in at the same time.
No, I got to think that Dobish goes down because he doesn't need a clear waiver. So I don't think that if that's going to be the case, I don't know.
Got to be.
It's a turning point in the season, though, because a quick call up after the game like this for me, it's okay. We got enough. That's it.
Man, get that man a drink because he's spot on. That's exactly right.
No, they took a beer in the office after the game, and they're like, it's time to change things around.
Max is spot on.
Because don't forget, like we're at the end of the rebuild, but if you don't make the playoff this year, you're hurting your young core. They need to play another series like they did against Washington last year and see how tough it is to win in the NHL. They need that.
Yeah. Let me ask then, if I could, assess then for us, everyone, the other 2 players. What do they mean for the roster?
Pierre?
Well, Owen Beck was one of the guys you said, right, Maxine? Who was the other one?
Engstrom.
Yeah, so Engstrom, I'm telling you right now, they're mad at Xhekaj. They're mad. You could see it. They're mad at Xhekaj. I don't need a coach to tell me. I'm watching what's going on. They're mad at him. He's probably going to be the odd man out in the next game. And Strubal's on a very lean leash as well. They just don't have enough bodies. And Owen Beck, I could see him going in for a lot of people, and it's probably going to be Joe Valeno. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's Joe Valeno comes out. If you want to be a hard player, I'm telling you, and I'm not saying it to embarrass my friend Max Lapierre, but if I were one of the coaches and you're a depth player in Montreal, I'm getting tape of Max when he was an unbelievable dick to play against.
No, I am. You were a dick, Max. You were a brutal dick.
and I'm showing it to them. And I'm saying, see this guy, he talks about you now. And this is why he has the right to talk about you.
It's true. It's true.
It could also be that there could also be that some guys are injured, guys. Brendan Gallagher looked like he had a groin injury last game. Tonight he was able to fight through it. Pierre mentioned he was trying to set the tone early on in the game. Can it be that maybe Jared Davidson is not going to play next game when the Canadiens are going to be in Pittsburgh? And Pierre, you said they're mad at Xhekaj. And you know what? The ice time that he's had would indicate that they just don't have a lot of confidence in him, plain and simple.
No, you can see it. I mean, I'm watching. And, Maxie and Brian, you guys know, you got to get in rhythm. He's never in rhythm. He's on one shift. He's off 4 shifts. He's on another shift. He's off 6 shifts. Like, it's just there's no rhythm there.
I feel that one guy that's getting a free pass often, and I don't mind him, but Struble, like, at one point, I was happy when he fought and all that, but I feel like he gets the easy, like, he'll be back next game and everything he does is fine. But at the end of the day, he's not doing the job, man. He's playing with Lane Hudson. Like, I don't care if he's okay. Like, it's not okay. It's Lane Hudson. Kel McCarr doesn't play with Struble.
No.
One of my favorite things that Pierre says all the time is you're going to be at your best when you're in your seat, when you're in your proper seat. Jane Struble's not in his proper seat. He's not a 3-4. So he's got tougher matchups. He's got more ice than he can handle. Put him in a 5-6 and he'll probably do fine. Put Xhekaj in a 7-8 or on the wing, he'll do fine.
Yeah.
You got to be in your seat.
Yeah.
Brian, who did you have a chance to speak to? You had a chance to speak to Nick Suzuki, actually?
Yeah, Nick. Well, it was not a great room tonight, obviously.
It was a very quiet room, Brian?
Yeah, it was a quiet room.
Okay,
And it was pretty dejected room, actually. We have Nick talking about what went wrong, and let's start with that.
Let's get to Nick Suzuki and then Oliver Kapanen.
Yeah.
There are good teams that we go up against. You have to play your best hockey, and I don't think we've shown that against those teams. I don't know the reasoning, but it takes everyone and it takes a whole game to produce those wins against top teams. So just need to be better.
All right, there you have it. Nick Suzuki just need to be better. Oliver Kapanen, let's hear from him.
Yeah, just need to find a ways to do the same we did in Rocket. I think we play good hockey on the road and keep it simple. So just need to execute same way here.
All right, didn't quite catch everything you said, but
I'll say what that was then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was about the fact that they're a better team on the road than at home, and why is that? It's supposed to be the other way around. He basically said he didn't know, but did say something about keeping it simple. That's about it. And it was a quiet room. There wasn't much out of the room tonight. I think they're kind of at that moment that they don't feel like talking about what's really going wrong, because it's easier to not say than say. Like, Max, you've been in the room a lot answering questions, and at a certain point, I'm sure there were moments when you're like, if I say what's really on my mind here, it's not going to serve me well. So I'm going to say almost nothing.
Hey, you're so right, Brian. And you also know as a player that you didn't do the job. And you know what, guys? I was thinking earlier, you remember like 2-3 years ago, some nights we were losing and people were cheering the team because they were loving the effort. The team was skating and you could see they were battling and they wanted to get out of this rebuild. This is not the case right now. This is why I've been talking about the culture. I'm worried a little bit because it's often many guys that are not showing up. It's not, most of the teams you're saying, oh, wow, this guy's having a tough night. But now it's not this guy's having a tough night. It's always the opposite. We're saying, wow, these two guys are playing great tonight. And this is not normal.
You know what?
And it's the culture change.
Has to happen. You know what else has to happen? Let's stop talking about the Olympics. I don't really give a poop who's going to the Olympics and who's not going to the Olympics. I don't care. Because a lot of these guys aren't. I can tell you one guy that's definitely not going. Sam Montembeault. So stop with the nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about another player that's not going. He wears number 53. He's not going to the Olympics. Can we stop this nonsense?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I don't think anyone's been talking about Montembeault to the Olympics.
Did you see what Doug Armstrong said today? Everybody that played in Boston and was on the team is still in consideration. Please stop this nonsense. He is not.
Yeah, you're right. You're right to bring that up. He is not in consideration. No,
please.
No. Anyway, okay. Look, I have to show you a few pictures, guys. I want Shane Gaumont on Master Control. If you can bring up the two pictures of the defensive zone coverage or what's supposed to be defensive zone coverage, we're gonna have a feast with this boy. We're gonna have a real feast.
Shane, know which one?
Yeah. All right, a second. Let me just send them over to Shane right now, just in case he did not get them. All right, okay, guys. In between now and then, Jacob Fowler, Pierre Maguire. Would you go with them right away next game?
Yes.
I mean, they brought him up to play him, right? They didn't bring him up
into Pittsburgh. Right into Pittsburgh. Play him right away.
Is he ready, Pierre?
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, it can't be worse.
No.
It's impossible.
I'm not saying that wasn't the question.
Bring back the ice machine driver from Toronto.
Yeah. That wasn't the question, though. The question wasn't, can an e-bug do better than those two?
What's his name?
I know who you're talking about.
The guy that beat the Leafs with Carolina. Just bring him up.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
No, but the question I think is a valid one to Pierre, because the guy's only got like 25 games of pro experience here. That's not a lot. Is he ready? Like, I know he's going to be ready and be a great one, but is he ready now?
Here's what I can tell you. I watch a guy wear number 81 for the Pittsburgh Penguins. His name is Ben Kindle. He was the 11th overall pick in this summer's draft.
Yes.
And everybody says, he's not ready to play. I know one thing. He's getting about a point a game in Pittsburgh. I think he's ready to play.
Yeah. So the answer is yes.
I'd play him. Send a message to everybody else.
Just with the attitude too, we've seen from Fowler. It seems like a really calm kid that is in full possession of his skills, and he's just relaxing there. Very technical, moves well. He's gonna battle. He's gonna be pumped. Like, I feel like he's not an emotional type of young player. So for me, what's the worst case that can happen? He's in for 2 games and he goes back in Laval, right? It's just about sending a message to the team, because the line is fine between protecting a young guy and destroying the 5-6 young guys that are in Montreal.
But they're going to have to play better in front of him, and I get it, okay? I get it. The 6th goal, you would think that Fowler's going to stop that one. You would think that Fowler's going to stop a couple of goals that went in tonight. But for the most part, the Canadiens give up a lot of grade A scoring chances, guys. They do a lot of wrong things, and you're going to put Fowler in net with them playing defense the way they're playing. I think we have the pictures now. Let's bring it up, okay? Let's bring it up. Just so that we're all on the same page, just so that we know here, okay? Pretend this is Fowler and not Dobish. These are the guys that he's going to have in front of him. And this is the way they defend. And by the way, I'm all for putting Fowler at this point. I wasn't a couple of weeks ago. At this point, they have they have no choice. They got no choice. The Canadiens have a serious problem in goal. But Max, you wanted me to put this picture up. It's up.
Yeah, there's so many things that are wrong there. First of all, why is one guy alone in front of the net just ready to tap it in? Then where is Struble going? Like, where is he going? It's just like somebody just photoshopped them on the picture. Like, and then you got 4 guys that are gonna block a shot. 4 guys in the shooting lane. I can accept 2 guys on the same guy and they made a mistake. A third one is dramatic. 4 guys. You know you
got to give a lot of credit to? The guy with the puck is Max Crozier from Providence College in the Hockey East. He makes a great play. I'm not shooting it through those guys. I'll give it to Kucherov.
Pierre, the goalie doesn't have a stick. The goalie doesn't have a stick. 4 guys in the shooting lane. Struble, I don't know what he's doing. And there's a guy ready to tap in with one of the best players in the league, just waiting for a one-timer with an open net. I don't get it.
Yeah. By the way, Max, you can add no one recognizing that the goalie doesn't have a stick. No one helping him to get it back either. I mean, there's a lot that's wrong on this play. You're right. There's another picture too we're going to bring up.
Brendan got beat off the line big time.
That's Stu's pitching in, coming in back door.
Yeah, that's Brendan's man. Sorry.
Yeah.
And for the people saying it's Madison, it's not Madison. It's Gallagher's guy.
No, that's Brendan. That's Brendan Gallagher's man. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, and that's Nikita Kucherov, one of the best passers this game has ever seen. One of only 4 or 5 players to ever have a season where he actually had 100 assists in a season. Wayne Gretzky did it 1,000 times. Mario Lemieux did a couple of times. Connor McDavid and Bobby Orr. Only 5 players have ever done it. It's so hard to do that Sidney Crosby hasn't even done it. 100 assists in a season, and Nikita Kucherov has. And look at that pass from Kucherov. Look at that pass from Kucherov. That's unbelievable.
You know what, Tony? Like, at the end of the day, we can talk about systems. But for me, it's about focusing and being ready to play. Because I always try to put the most extreme picture. If your life depended on it, this guy would not be alone in front of the net. You know, if you have to save your family, this guy would be right on your stick and he would not get a shot because you would give everything you've got. There is just like, it's not mine. Sorry. Like, what is this? Like, it doesn't have to do with young, good or not good. For me, it's effort and focus.
Agreed.
Brian Wilde, Brian, any closing thoughts by you? Marty St.
Just looking forward to Jacob Fowler. That's it. That's
Marty
my
St.
closing thought. Because
what was the press conference like with Marty?
I don't know. There wasn't much to it.
Okay.
I mean, they went fast. He at one point the best thing he said that I put on socials was winning is temporary, character lasts forever.
Okay. Did you have a
Just
chance to
6
ask
little words, but think about those 6 words.
Did you have a chance to ask a question?
No, I did not.
You did not?
And I usually don't. The guys are doing a great job. They don't need my help.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
What?
Whoa,
What?
Whoa. They're doing a great job.
That reporters in Montreal are first-class guys. What do you want me to crap on them?
Come on.
They know exactly what they're doing.
They throw softballs like you can't believe. Stop.
No, they don't.
Marty, would you be able to explain your concepts within the system and the philosophies and the fact that this team is young and the process within the process?
I'm not hammering my teammates. If you think I'm hammering my teammates, you got the wrong guy.
I didn't say you should hammer your teammates.
I play for Team Tony right here, and I play team media with my mates.
Good.
But I'm telling you, let's assess those 6 words for 1 second while we let the joking go aside here. In assessing those 6 words, those are 6 really important words. Winning is temporary, so it's ephemeral. You can feel good one night, and one night you feel bad. But character lasts forever. You know what he's saying there? Without saying it, I don't have enough character for my guys. That's what he's saying. He didn't point him out and he didn't shit on him, but that's what he said just there. I don't see enough character. It lasts forever, and I need more.
I think we've been talking about that for the last few weeks, and I would agree with that. And Max has been right at the lead of this, but I support
And that's what
Max.
he just said. That's what Martin St. Louis just said with that. I want more character. So, Max, he's listening to you. He's listening to you, Pierre, too.
Hey, I would have. I think you should start asking questions because you ask good questions.
You're good, Brian. Come on, Brian.
Let's go, Brian. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go, Brian. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it's all right.
Right.
It's okay. You know what? Obviously, I will if there's something that I think is pretty important they're not bringing up. But they're bringing everything up. I'm not feeling at the end of it they missed anything. So I'm good.
Thank you, Brian.
All right,
Good,
all right, cheers.
Hey, Brian.
Good for you for being a team player. Good for you, Brian.
What a team guy.
What a team guy. Thank you, Brian Wilde.
See you, boys.
And Brian Wilde, once again, was brought to you by Fruiterie de Lard, a family-run business, a mainstay in the LaSalle community since 1995. Proud to continue offering the same fresh foods and flavors they have for the past 30 years, from fresh fruits and produce delivered daily to an ever-expanding assortment of deli meats, cheeses, and sandwiches. You'll find personalized service and friendly faces that make you feel like family. Speaking of which, Anthony Martineau is one of my collaborators from TVA Sports on my show En Français, le Sick Podcast, du lundi au vendredi at 10h le matin. And Anthony has asked Marty St. Louis guys about his man-to-man hybrid system on a couple of occasions, and Marty has talked about engagement. He's talked about it's not on the system. He's talked about the guys, you know what, it's just there's no perfect hockey player, and hockey is a game of mistakes, and they're going to get it, and there's no swaying from the system. And by the way, guys, you know what? We talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people talk to a lot of people. And Pierre, you that coached in this league for a very long time and were behind the bench and had a chance to be a general manager in the National Hockey League as well as a senior advisor in so many other roles. Defensive systems, man-to-man, hybrid, zone, for the most part, teams pretty much all play the same way with, of course, different variations. But Pierre, I would be willing to bet, me that has never coached a game in my life, not even on PlayStation, that when teams decide to play a certain system and they put in certain variations, they do it depending on the tools that they have. Is it possible that it's not that it's the system, but it's that the tools that they have at their disposition right now probably have a hard time playing this system?
Yes, I think you're right. And that's why I talk about not having Goalie. I talk about not having David Savard. It's changed the whole schematic of this defense. And Carrier has not played the same way as he did last year. So you put it all together, that's basically 3 omissions from your top 6 from last year's team.
Max, your thoughts?
It's for me, when they arrived in town, the new GM Marty St. Louis, Gorton, the first thing I loved about it is I feel like they were bringing an identity to the team, which was skating, transition, attack, right? I don't think you can do this if you're tired and if you're not in a structure when you, like we've been talking about losing your man, and that's all fine. We know the problem, but the reality is when you get the puck back, you're not in a structure to quickly go back in offense. Because I have a clip I saved for Saturday on TVA Sports. Like, you have Carrier, who is acting as a winger, Bolduc as a centerman, and you have another forward as a D. So then they break out. Carrier gets the puck on the wall, doesn't know what to do because it's not natural. Then they go back in their zone and they spend time. But normally when you get the puck, let's say in the corner, you know that you have a D in front of the net, your winger is on the wall, and your center is going to support. Everyone is very comfortable in their mission, and everyone has energy. So right now, even let's say a game where we play man to man and everything is fine, we got our guy, we get the puck back, that doesn't mean we're in the right structure. And for me, this is taking away the identity we were bringing in Montreal, which was speed, transition, and that's why we got Madison, Hudson, and Dobson, because the plan was to have these that can do these things.
Yeah. That picture that you guys showed of the four guys in the lane and Matheson on one side and Struble way out, that one,
yeah,
they got to talk about this immediately. Like, this is so fundamentally poor, it's embarrassing.
This is a back skate situation for me.
That's why I'm saying this has to be addressed.
Well, yeah, but guys, a couple of weeks ago, the Canadiens played. I think they played the Washington Capitals, who had played back-to-back, and the Canadiens lost 8-4. And, the next, I think that was the day, and I could be wrong here regarding the timing and the day and all that stuff, but I think it was a Friday. The Canadiens had a 30-minute practice, and Marty St. said it was 30 minutes, but it was the most intense practice that they've had all season. Guys, 30 minutes, I mean, is this a joke or what? Stop, come on. I'm on the treadmill longer than that.
No, you
Come
don't.
on.
No, you don't.
I'm telling you, I have been. Well,
No.
sometimes.
That's level 1. You're talking about level 1 stuff. I don't take any
okay.
comments when it's under level 3.
Okay, all right, okay. No, but seriously though, come on. And by the way, well, I want to talk about the emotion, right? Max Lapierre, I know that you are absolutely livid because no one got mad. And by the way, I don't even at the end when Anderson fought Sabourin. I think the Canadiens at the end, this is strong what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think that's not the time to get mad. It's not time to get mad when you're down 6-1 and the game is over. It's time to get mad when you're down 2-0 in a 4-point game. It's time to get mad when you're down 3-0 in a 4-point game. That's when it's time to do something. It's probably time to actually start a game being mad. But I will say this though. Guys, I will say this. It's probably not in Marty's nature, but Pierre Maguire, doesn't the coach have to lose it every now and then as well to show his team that this is, I'm not gonna keep on accepting these losses.
You can lose it. Everybody's got a different emotional thing. Like I worked with Bob Johnson, I worked with Scotty Bowman, I worked with Paul Holmgren, worked with a bunch of different guys, and everybody was a little different. But in an era when you could really go after players, I never saw Bob Johnson once do that. He might have vented behind the scenes, but practices when he was mad, he wouldn't talk a lot. And that's when you knew you were in trouble. Scotty, it was just totally different. He would just bring you in his office and it would be one-on-one. And he would let you know in no uncertain terms, this was unacceptable. Very seldom did I see him ever lambaste anybody in front of anybody else. Now, that's my experience with him. So every coach is different. But here's the one thing I would say. I see that picture and I'm still mad. And I'm not involved with the team. I'm just saying, and Max, you probably didn't hear me at the beginning. How does Struble get taught to play with two hands and a stick and one-on-one in the neutral zone? You can't play like that. Like, these are all fundamental mistakes. That picture that you showed, Tony, those are fundamental errors that can't happen. This is the NHL. Can't have that happening.
Just for me, I know we want people to be under control, and I know we don't see everything on TV, but when a group really cares, you see, and it's not right, but you see some smashing the stick. You see somebody throw the bottle. You see somebody yelling at his teammates. You see passion. We see 20 guys waiting for the bus. That's what we're seeing. They're sitting waiting for the bus, right? Like there's no emotion.
Yeah, no.
We need some emotion. And Pierre, we've been talking a lot with Tony about, well, maybe Marty St. Louis doesn't like this type of stuff or physical games and everything like that. At the end of the day, you've coached, Pierre. Do you think in a game like tonight, guys that have passion, and you tell them don't do anything stupid, do you think they would listen? It's just natural. You got it in you. You go on the ice and you do something stupid because you don't accept losing.
So here, I'll just throw this at you. I saw Brendan Gallagher give everything he had in the first 2 or 3 shifts, and after a while, they don't have Victor Hedman. So they're down to 5D. I know what I'm telling my players on the bench. They're down to 5D. Let's go get somebody. Let's take a bite out of them. Let's wear them down. Let's go after them. They're running out of bodies back there. It's a back-to-back. I didn't see anybody hit anybody.
Is the Montreal Canadiens power play better with Zach Bolduc on it instead of Ivan Demidov? Because that's what happened tonight, eh? We haven't even talked about this yet. Is it better with Bolduc on it and not Demidov? Number one. Number two, is Slav not better in the bumper than he is on the half wall? Because we saw him on the half wall again tonight. Like, I don't know what's going on, guys, but I'm really, look, I said something last year where I said full confidence in Marty St. Louis. However, I believe the strength of this coach is in his ability to motivate. I think it's in his communication skills. I think it's in the fact that he's fair with everyone. I think it's in the fact that he's got, a modern hockey mentality. I think it's in the fact that, I think he can run a really good power play. I think it's in the fact that he's got great offensive concepts. I think he can teach his players a thing or two, especially the offensive talents. I think they can play a brand of really good offensive hockey. But I thought that the Canadiens really needed a defensive tactician because the Canadiens last year, again, had games where they gave up 6 goals in Boston in a loss, 6 goals versus Pittsburgh at home in a loss, 7 goals versus the Rangers at home in a loss, 8 goals versus Seattle at home in a loss, 6 goals in Washington on the road in a loss, 9 goals at home versus Pittsburgh in a loss. And to the Canadiens' credit, around Christmas time or right after, they turned everything around and they were able to fix their defensive play. And the same thing might happen again this year. But I'm going to say the same thing I said a year ago. And even though, they ended up proving me wrong, I think this staff needs a solid defensive tactician alongside Marty on the bench. Pierre?
Yeah, we've been talking about the defensive part of this for most of the year. Yeah. I'm not saying they need to fire anybody. I'm just saying they need to exchange some ideas. They got to get some grounding here. But defensively, they're not good enough. And fundamentally, they're not good enough. Max, you played for some really good coaches. Stick position, taught. Body position, taught. How to eliminate a guy on the boards, taught. It's all fundamentals. I don't see that.
No, like you guys are right, but a part of me, and I really don't like the man-to-man system, but the reality is you need to follow your guy everywhere. And when you see a guy that is alone, someone didn't do their job. Doesn't matter if we like it or not. That means they didn't skate, compete, and read the game enough to keep up with the guy. Like that's, as much as we don't like it, it's pretty simple when you think about it, right, Pierre? I got Pierre, I follow him everywhere. If I lose him, my bad. Like it's, and Tony, you talk about the system and the tactics and everything, but what about everything else that Pierre was talking about? Simple skills, like going in a battle, lift the stick, skating on the forecheck. How many times do you see a guy forechecking and curl instead of stopping on the puck, like taking his D out of the play and coming back and protect the middle? That's stuff you learn, like as a player. It has nothing to do with the group. It has nothing to do with the structure, blocking a shot, getting the puck out of the zone, taking a hit to make a play. That doesn't have anything to do. You can put the best coach in the world. If you don't do this, you won't win in the structure.
I'm still very concerned because if you have half the players on your team that are not doing it, that's deep. That's deep. I mean, You can't get rid of half your team.
No,
And I know they're going to try and
but
replace 3 players here.
So when kids have a hard time in school, they go after school for extra help. And that's why you have extra coaches. You know, these staffs are ballooned. They're so large right now. Do you know how many, like, I can tell you, past thousands, not hundreds, thousands of pucks to different players over the course of my career. Why do you do that? Because they want extra work. They want to get better. They want to learn how to do different things. I don't know whether that happens or not, but I'll tell you one thing right now.
But pardon me, you just told me they're not doing fundamental things.
But defensively, no. Just take the picture of Struble in a one-on-one with Braden Point. You cannot play with 2 hands in your stick in the middle of the ice in a one-on-one against one of the fastest forwards in the league. You're going to get crushed. That's what happened. So Max knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the hockey stat card, guys. Let's do that. And before we do, Sick Podcast brought to you by Energy Transportation Group, a leading asset like 3PL that's driven to be different from cross-border freight between Canada, USA, and Mexico to coast-to-coast shipping in both Canada and the United States. Energy moves it all fast, reliable, powered by tech that delivers smarter logistics in your real partner in transportation. Contact the team at sick@shipenergy.com and see how Energy Transportation Group is changing the freight game. Also, shout out to Playground, winning Wednesday, the ultimate midweek experience for players age 50 and up. Folks, tomorrow will be Wednesday because, of course, we are live on Tuesday. Start your day with a $5 breakfast as of 7 a.m. Take your shot at winning your age of cash with hourly draws until 3 p.m. And don't forget to claim your free play available until 10 p.m. Wednesdays were made for winning only at Playground. The shout out to Bittt Tibi. They launched their new Ultra Lager, refreshing thirst-quenching beer. Perfect for chilly winter days, only 90 calories, 2 grams of carbs, 4% ABV per can, available in a pack of 6 and 12 in grocery stores all around the province of Quebec. Ultra light, ultra refreshing. Let's bring up that hockey stat card right now. All right, here you have it. Guys, we talked about Alex Carrier. Statistically speaking, his game was catastrophic. Mike Matheson was the second least performing defenseman on the Canadian staff tonight. Jaden Struble third, Arber Xhekaj fourth, and Noah Dobson statistically had the best game of any Montreal Canadiens defenseman, followed by Lane Hudson. Pierre Maguire, statistically, this is not a bad game for Arber Xhekaj, all things considering. You mentioned earlier on in the podcast, and you said when you saw that Engstrom was recalled, you said, oh, they're mad at Xhekaj. They don't have to say it. I just know. Talk to us about what you're thinking, Pierre.
I think they want more puck movement. I think they want more consistency defensively. I think they want to make sure they don't take bad penalties. I just think there's a lot that they want. I think they've seen enough from Engstrom, and maybe Arber needs a reset. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Struble gets sat down. We'll see.
Pierre, if it is Xhekaj, who by the way, was even tonight, had a shot on goal, had 4 shots blocked, attempts blocked, had 5 hits in the hockey game, had only 1 giveaway. If it is Xhekaj, would it just be a message that Marty St. Louis is going to move forward with defensemen that have puck moving abilities?
That I don't know, but I would say puck movement's going to be a big part of this thing. Carrier is concerning because last year he was a really important part of this team. For whatever reason, he can't get it back on the rails right now, and I don't know why that is. I just don't know.
Max Lapierre, can it be that Marty may be thinking that Carrier's struggles can be that he just hasn't been able to find chemistry with Xhekaj?
Few things. I feel like Carrier always gets the Xhekaj or the new defenseman, like doesn't get the best partner in a way. I think 2 things for me. He got hit pretty hard by Wilson. We remember the hit, and there's always consequences after. And he got smoked again in front of the bench by game number 10 this year. I don't know if he's hurt. The reality is he takes a lot of hits. He's there for the team. He does he uses his body a lot. So I don't know if he's banged up, but you know, like I was mentioning at the beginning of the show, like change something at one point. Like Madison and Dobson was great at the beginning of the year. I don't see that anymore. I don't see it. Like change the pairing. I think it's time to change something. Like
I'm with you. So I got something. You ready for this?
Yes.
You ready? I could be wrong. I don't think it's going to be Xhekaj. I think it's going to be Struble. And I think Engstrom is going to play with Lane Hudson in Pittsburgh.
Engstrom's going to play with Lane Hudson?
Yeah.
Could happen.
I think that's what. So hear me out on my logic right now, okay? Jaden Struble's had more ice time than Arber Xhekaj. I think ever since they both been in since Struble got in there this season. He got less ice time than Xhekaj tonight. He was a -2. Xhekaj wasn't even.
Yeah.
So on a night when Struble was a -2, and Pierre Maguire's been talking about, I mean, you cannot defend with two hands on the stick, and Xhekaj wasn't even, and Xhekaj got more ice time tonight than Jaden Struble. I think it's going to be Jaden Struble. It's going to be in the lineup.
You know what I would go with? I think it would be Hudson, Madison, and I will go with Engstrom and Dobson. That would be my top 4.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can say that you can break up Dobson and Matheson. I love them in Toronto. I didn't like them as much. You know, I love Dobson versus St. Louis, except for that play on the Bushnevich goal, which wasn't all on him, but you know.
It's just that you have your best defenseman offensively is Lane Hudson. And if you want to contribute even more, you need to surround him with people that he's not carrying, someone that is there for him, you know? Because at the end of the day, it happened often that he gives the puck to Struble or whoever is with him, and the play doesn't progress. So at one point, like, you cannot handcuff him. Like, the guy he's a phenom. He's one of the best defensemen we've seen in Montreal. Like, put somebody like strong with him, not just a guy he's carrying.
You know, guys, you know what I'm thinking about tonight? I'm thinking about Gorton and Hughes. Why am I thinking about Gorton and Hughes? Because ever since they've been here, I don't think even once they've swayed from their plan. They may have been tempted. They could have been really emotional, but I don't think even once they ever swayed from their plan. Guys, I'm sure it wasn't part of their plan to recall Jacob Fowler on game 30 of the season.
No, I don't think so.
That's what they've done here.
Yeah,
Desperate times call for desperate measures. They've swayed from their plan, and they too have recognized. Don't you think?
At the beginning of the year, yes. By game number 10, I think it was the clock is ticking. I think they were like, at one point, we're going to have to do it. Like, it's not like it's a normal situation in nets, right? Like, it was every game there was an issue. So I think at one point they said it might take 10, 15, 20 games, but we're going to need to call up someone if it keeps going that way. Like, it's not normal, guys.
No.
Everything goes in. It's not even like okay goaltending, which is sad because guys were doing great for us last year.
Pierre, is it possible? And Montembeault was very good last year, played 62 games. And Dobish was very good for the Canadiens last year too. And Dobish was very good for the Canadiens at the start of the season, the first 6 games. Is it possible that going into a season with expectations, now it became a little bit too much for the Canadiens goalies? Because last year, there really weren't any.
Yeah, there were none last year. I think it's really important to manage expectation. It's a big part of it, especially in a major market like Montreal. I think by and large, management's done a really good job of managing expectation. I really do. And I think Marty's done a good job of that. But again, there's huge expectation on this team after they made the playoffs last year. And anything less than the playoffs this year would be a bitter disappointment. And I think they're starting to realize that now. As a group, I think they're starting to realize it.
Let's at what point is the onus on Eric Raymond?
Well, that's why I said to you that one line. I said he'd be on my speed dial right away. I want to know what's going on with the goalies. Why are they swimming? Why do they lose their net all the time? Why do they look small? Why are pucks going through them?
Okay. Can you show the picture again? I wasn't a goalie, but I'm just trying to figure out how a goalie is supposed to know how to position himself.
Well, that's unbelievable.
He's got a backdoor tap in, one of the best player in the league, one-timer. So he's got a split in between these two, and he's got 4 guys screening him. So we're like, let's say you're all about structure as a goaltender, and you play the odds, for example. Where are you supposed to put your attention right now?
Get my stick.
You know, like I don't even know what he's supposed to do there.
I got you know what though? Before that play, he had to smother a rebound, and he didn't, and he wasn't able to get a glove on it, and that's when he dove and he was like swimming, again, and it happened the first time it happened in New Jersey, and now it happened again. Anyway, look, I've defended Dobesh. I said actually that if Montembeault, and now it's not even a question of Montembeault and Dobesh anymore, because I didn't like Dobesh playing in the back-to-back the way he did on Sunday. And tonight was his third game in 4 nights. And to tell you the truth, I had serious doubts that he was going to be able to respond tonight playing 3 games in 4 nights. And you know what? We've been talking about go with the winning goalie. And Dobesh didn't win on Sunday night, so I don't even know why he started to begin with. I'll be honest with you. Like, Max, I don't understand anything the way they use their goalies anymore. I really don't. And by the way, it probably doesn't matter because one's not playing good and the other one's playing bad. So it probably doesn't matter. But I don't understand the way the decisions they make with their goalies at all.
Well, Tony, I think you need to put yourself in Marty St. Louis' shoes there for a second. Like, you look at the board, you look at the 2 goalies. Can you really make an easy choice? Like, you cannot just go, okay, I'm going with him, whatever, what. Like, except for the beginning of the season where Dobesh was on fire, now this is over. They were both struggling. Sometimes they're okay, sometimes they're not. Like, who are you picking? Next game, who are you picking for sure?
Fowler.
Yeah,
But let's say Fowler wasn't there.
I would have to go with Montembeault because Dobesh started this one and started badly.
Well, you see, I was going with Dobesh, so we don't know. And next week, maybe I was going with Montembeault. It's tough. Like, it's a really tough situation. Pierre, maybe my memory is lacking here, but I don't remember a situation like this where both goaltenders are having a tough time.
Not in Montreal. I don't remember it.
Pierre, put on your GM hat. What is the GM thinking right now? For example, there's a few things we haven't talked about. Well, we talked about Eric Raymond. Like, is the GM, he's obviously thinking about his goalies. He called up Fowler. But when he's thinking about his goalies, is he thinking about his goalie coach? He's obviously thinking about his defense. He called up Engstrom. But when he's thinking about his defense, is he thinking about his team system, or is he thinking about the Habs defense coach, Stefan Robida? You know,
I think he's thinking about the caliber of the player. I think he's thinking about the decisions that are made in terms of matchups and who's running the matchup. So that's probably Robida. And he's probably thinking about how are we getting better? Are we getting worse? Are we staying the same? You got to kind of have to be fair on that. But I can just tell you fundamentally, there's a lot of stuff wrong. And I'm just not trying to pick. I don't know who's in charge of it, but there's a lot of stuff wrong. The reason why I said I'd have the goalie coach on speed dial is because I want to know what's going on in practice every single day with our goalies, because I need to know how come they're not progressing. I want to know, why are they not progressing?
Tony, like, now that you're saying this, Pierre, like, think about it. Let's go through what's going wrong with the team. The goalies doesn't work. The defensive system doesn't work. The physical game doesn't work. Like, it's like face-offs is not always like Evans, Anderson, Gallagher doesn't work. Nope. A lot is not working.
That's why I'm saying I need to know. Like, I need to.
But we're in the race. That's the good news.
Pierre, the New York Islanders, 6 games into the season, fired their goalie coach, Piero Greco, if memory serves me well. Ilya Sorokin had a goals against average of .390, a save percentage of .873, and Matthew Darce said, no. Sorokin's a lot better than this. They fired their goalie coach 6 games into the season. Sorokin, I want to bring up his numbers, but I can pretty much guarantee you that his numbers have been far better.
He's been one of the hotter goalies in the league.
So counting those numbers that were bad, He now has goals against average of 253 and a 910 save percentage. So yes, he turned it around. 253 down from 390 and 910 save percentage up from 873. So he's turned it around big time. That goalie change was very beneficial for Sorokin and for the Islanders. Are we at that point? I know you never.
That's why I knew that if I were at practice, I would be able to tell you. It'd be really irresponsible of me to tell you that because I'm not at practice, so I don't see what they're doing. If I was watching, I'd be able to say, you know what? They need to change this guy out. But I am not watching, so I don't know.
And by the way, they hired Sergei Nomovs, I believe, as the new goaltending coach, who had a history with Sorokin because they were together with in Moscow back in the KHL for I think 2 or 3 seasons. But Max Lapierre said he's watching practice, and the goalies are all over the place, and they're losing their net in practice.
Yeah,
Max,
but I think it would be fair to analyze a goalie in a normal defensive structure. You know, like Pierre, you know the systems. Like if you're playing zone, you kind of know where the puck is going to come from and where the pass is going to go because the defensive play dictates the play, right?
Everything's to the outside.
Everything comes from the outside in. If you have a chance to find your guy, the third man, or it's going to be a point shot. Right now, if you're a goalie and you're tracking the puck, you're supposed to track where the puck is going, but there's 10 people moving in front of you. I feel if I were a goalie, it would be tough for me to say, okay, I'm going to cheat a little bit left to be ready to push there. But where is there in that case?
By the way, guys, with the score 6-1 Tampa, the Tampa Bay Lightning dumped the puck in pretty much from their blue line. And Montembeault just taps it aside, and it goes in the corner. And the cheers came out for Montembeault.
Yeah.
It wasn't really loud, and it happens often. So nothing new here. It's not like we ever lost a goaltender because of it. It's not like we got the best goalie in history mad and because we cheered for him, but that's okay.
Let's go to the score sheet if we can. The goals scored in this one. Braden Point, once again, 227 into period number 1. Assist to Oliver Bjorkstrand and Jake Gensel, where basically Braden Point was on a one-on-one with Jacob Struble, just takes him down the right side and takes him easily and goes up and over cross corner upstairs blocker side on Jacob Dobish. Canadiens on a power play. Holmberg's in the box, and then all of a sudden the power play is over. Demidov passes the puck back to Noah Dobson, and he just goes over a stick, or he can't get to it. He can't corral it. And Holmberg is off to the races, and he makes a move and ends up going 5-hole. The picture we keep on showing you all night was, I think it was a shot from Radish, and that came out, and then it was there was a rebound, and Dobish tried to smother it and lost his stick in the process, and then he went diving for it and swimming for it or for the puck, and that's when he lost his stick. And then the puck goes back to Crozier, and there were like 4 men trying to block the shooting lane, but they left Nikita Kucherov, who's a left-handed shot on the right side, all alone, and Crozier just pump fakes and then boom, passes to Kucherov, and he lets it rip. To start the second period, Samuel Montembeault was in, and he replaced Jacob Dobish. And Pierre Hood says, I'm sure Montembeault would really just can't wait to get the first shot out of the way. And the first shot goes in. Destus, who scores backdoor. Brendan Gallagher's man, as Pierre Maguire told us in Maxim Lapierre, that was Gallagher's guy, left unattended and picks up a nice pass from Kucherov. Kapanen scores a goal where there's a backhanded pass by Demidov on the power play to Captain Nick Suzuki, who one time it hits the post, and Kapanen is there to put in the rebound. And then Radish with a couple of goals. One of them,
McGuire.
Comes down the right wing guy's right-handed shot, and he takes a wrist shot. Montembeault goes down, it hits his mask, and it goes up and over him and under the bar. And then the last one on the power play, Braden Point wins a draw clean. The puck goes back to Radish in a very inoffensive wrist shot, made its way in, 6-1. Shots on goal, Tampa Bay in the first 14-7, 15-4 for Montreal in period number 2, 10-5 for Tampa in period number 3. Shots on goal, 27-27. The Canadiens lose by a score of 6-1. Let's bring up the event summary. So we'll take a look at some individual stats if we can. Do we have the event summary? We probably don't have the event summary. Let's see if I can get it to Shane Gaumont at Master Control, or actually just bring it up myself, guys. Here we go. There we go. We should have the event summary in just a second, but I'll tell you what I see. It was a -3 for Mike Matheson, guys, and a -3 for Ivan Demidov, a -2 for Kapanen, Dobson, Jared Davidson, Jaden Struble, Nick Suzuki, and Cole Caulfield. And by the way, guys, what did you think of Nick Suzuki's game in front of John Cooper? I know Pierre wants us to stop talking about the Olympics, but Pierre, I have to ask you, Suzuki went -2 in 1945. He did have 4 shots. He did have 3 missed shots. He did have a hit, but he had 3 giveaways. He won 8 of 12 faceoffs for 67%.
If you're asking me to compare who is better, Braden Point or Nick Suzuki, I'd say Braden Point was better than Nick Suzuki.
Yeah, and I would agree with that, Pierre. Max?
I just feel like even his line, they need to play like north-south a little more. Like it's super nice that they are skilled and they pass the puck around, but it doesn't work that way. Like once in a while, you need to call your special skills and make a special play. But most of good hockey teams, they make simple plays most of the time. You know, like I was watching Jack Eichel play. You expect him to toe drag everyone and just be spectacular. He shoots far pad, drives the net, protects the puck. He does some highlights of the night sometimes, but he just plays the right way. Yeah. You know, like these type of players, they play the right way. Like they're good players, maybe not lately, but I'm just saying like they don't just try to pass and backdoor tap in and saucer pass. Like even like on Demidov's pass tonight on Kapanen's goal right before to Suzuki, that's a great play. But if you take your time and analyze the play, it bounced before. It landed at the wrong spot, but it bounced over the stick. That was a turnover again. That's a special play, but it was a risky play.
Yeah.
You know, we got lucky that time, and it's a great play from a young guy, but most of the time they're going to cut this pass and transition.
Agreed.
Max, you've been amazing as usual. I'm going to see you tomorrow night on La Poche Bleue. We're probably going to take about 10 questions. I don't want to make you stay longer than you have. If you want to stay,
if you want.
Yeah, let's stay. Let's go. Let's go.
I'll support
midnight.
Pierre.
Let's go until midnight. Okay. All right. In the meantime, Team Guy, like Brian Wilde. Team Guy. All right. Introduce guys. The Slushbuster. Max, get ready because I'm bringing you your Slushbuster tomorrow. I have it. I'm bringing it for you. It is the new innovative snow brush. Look at it. Look at it, Max. Hold on a second. Let's slow it down. You see that? Look at that.
Wow, this is spectacular.
Yeah. This is unbelievable. This is the snow brush of the year, designed to tackle winter's mess with ease from heavy slush to stubborn ice. The Slushbuster clears it all quickly. Keep your car clean and your hands dry. You can pick it up for under $40 at slushbuster.ca. Smarter, stronger, and built for Canadian winters. It'll make for a fantastic Christmas gift. As a matter of fact, so fantastic that's going to be my Christmas gift to Max Lapierre tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
Canadiens and the Penguins, who do you have on Thursday? Go all the way with Betway. Get a deposit matchup bonus up to $300 on your first deposit. Scan the QR code on the screen or click on the link in the details section to create an account. Redeem your welcome offer. Offers only available for new customers. Terms and conditions apply. Offers not available in Ontario. Must be 18 years of age and older. And please play responsibly. Let's get to, you know what? We'll get to 10 questions. And it's a good thing that I didn't say we're going to get to the same amount of questions as the Canadiens have given up goals this season, because I'd have to take 1,000 questions. All right, let's take 10. Andrew Lockett. What's that noise? Max got music going on or what?
No.
No, I got a call coming from Pittsburgh, but I'm not picking it up.
Oh, you can pick it up if you want, Pierre.
No, it's okay.
Somebody from Pittsburgh calling you for a scouting report on Jacob Fowler or what?
I don't know if it's about Jacob, but I think they want a scouting report. That's okay.
Just tell them. Just tell them it's gonna be fine in the offensive zone. But I love the song, Pierre. What is that? Like disco? Like I feel like. Is that The Price Is Right? Come on down, Pierre Maguire.
I heard all kinds of vibration in my headphones, and I'm like, somebody's got an upset stomach right now. All right, okay. Let's get back to that question. Andrew sends over $7. What are your thoughts on Fowler? Thank you, Andrew. Getting called up just now. Do you feel comfortable with this decision? Pierre, do you feel comfortable with the decision?
Very, very comfortable with the decision. Something had to be done, and it's a bold move, but I think it's a smart move.
Max, you feel comfortable with the decision?
Yeah, you're fine. Like at the end of the day, like any other guy is gonna come in. If he's comfortable, you leave him in net. If he's not ready, he goes back to Laval. This is the advantage of having Laval right next door, right? It just takes about 3.5 hours to be downtown Montreal.
It depends what time of day. Exactly.
Next up, second question. Montreal MUFC. Would you change the goalie coach if you want to support Jacob Fowler? I'm under the impression our goalies are lost under Eric Raymond, while goalies in Laval do well under Marco Marciano. Max?
I just, like Pierre said it earlier, but it's unfair to judge the goalie coach's work when we don't even know what they're working at most of the time, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's my job.
Yeah, but Max, whatever they've been working on is not working. I mean, the goalies have had the same problems since the start of the season.
I agree, but at the same time, we could say the same about the defensive zone coverage.
Yeah. And then the other thing I'd throw at you is they didn't have a problem last year.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I wish I was there to watch it, but I'm not, so I can't really comment. I'm not going to hang somebody out to dry if I'm not watching their work.
I understand that, but Stefan Waite was the goalie coach for a Chicago Blackhawks team that won 3 Stanley Cups, and he won 2 with Corey Crawford. He won 1 with Anthony Niemi, if memory serves me well.
You are correct.
Stefan Waite was the goalie coach for the Montreal Canadiens under some of Carey Price's best seasons. But at one point, Carey Price was struggling, and Stefan Waite lost his job. And it's not to say that it was a good move. But goalie coaches do listen. We don't want anyone to lose their job. But if I'm Eric Raymond, I'm not sleeping great right now, and I probably haven't for about a month. Next, Tony Marinaro, Max, Pierre, Tony. What do you think of Montreal's decision to call up Beck instead of a veteran physical presence like Samuel Blais? Will Beck take Valeno's spot at 4C?
Well, at the end of the day, I love Blais. I think he hits hard. I think he's the type of player I love, but Vancouver sent him in the minors. Toronto sent him in the minors. Montreal sent him, and he got picked up by Toronto. So it's 3 NHL teams that don't see him in their lineup. So it's okay to hit hard, but there's more to it,
The other thing, too, is he's a player that requires waivers. Owen Beck doesn't. So there's another part to that. And then I think Owen Beck could. I said that before. It wouldn't surprise me if he did take Valeno's spot.
I think he's going to take Jared Davidson's spot.
He could.
Joe Valeno was the Canadiens' best faceoff guy tonight.
He has been for a while, hasn't he, Tony?
Winning 7 of 9 draws for 78%. He finished the night -1 compared to Davidson's -2. He had more ice time than Davidson, not much, 44 seconds, but he did. He plays on the penalty kill, and Davidson does not. He had 4 hits tonight, which would rank him number 2 on the Montreal Canadiens behind Xhekaj's 5. I think it's Davidson coming out, and I don't think it's Valeno.
So I'm going to ask Max this question. Owen Beck's a natural centerman. Do you want him to play wing? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, right?
I
You're going
want
to
him
bring
at
a guy
center.
up?
I want him at center for sure.
I want him at center. That's Tony. That's my only thing.
Never have enough centers. I can play Joe Valeno on the wing. Do I like him there? No. But I still think that Davidson's going to come out and not Valeno. We'll see.
Oh, no, you could be right about that.
But I wouldn't be scared if I were the coach to sit down a veteran and just send a message.
Who's the veteran? If you had to, who's the veteran?
Well, I cannot say that Evans and Anderson are giving everything they have.
No.
I'm not talking about going for 2 months in the stands, but one game we all done it. I got to scratch one game in my career. When you come back, you're hungry. it just puts everything back in place.
It could be. Listen, there's the possibility also again that Brendan Gallagher probably is not at 100%.
Maybe he's hurt, but
we saw him laboring last game.
Like at one point, the culture we've been talking about since the beginning of the show. If you accept people just showing up, just to show up, from veterans, then I think this is where there's an issue.
Agreed.
Let's go to the next question. Habby, do they play man-on-man in Laval? They play man-on-man hybrid in Laval as well. They play the same system in Laval. Next. Hendrick says, if you were Kent Hughes, what do you try to do now? What team are you calling? Pierre?
I call Laval. Which is what he did. No, I'm serious. I think the answers are internal. You don't have to go external right now. I think the answers are internal.
And Pierre, I'll add this. Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon, they're never going to try to make a deal when their team is playing as badly and some of their players are playing as badly as they are. They're never, because their value's at a low right now. That's not the way you do business.
No.
Maybe other general managers in Montreal Canadiens history have done that, but it's not going to be them.
No, and not only that, there's no need to panic. But I also think there's some guys that deserve or merit an opportunity to come up, and there are other guys that need to be sat down. I love Max's point before, because I agree. Sometimes you got to scare guys straight. And you sit a veteran out, you could wake some guys up pretty quick.
Let's go to the next one. Robert Mahoney sends over $7. Thank you. Would you blow up the team and trade for Dahlin and Thompson? Dahlin and Thompson for Bolduc, Slaf, Goalie, Ryan Backer picks this year and all that stuff.
No.
I honestly think Slaf is going to be a monster in a few years. Like he's the type of player you don't want to trade, because it's going to come and hunt you for the rest of your life.
Yep.
No,
I agree with that.
I definitely wouldn't do that. Once upon a time, I heard a member of the media say that he would trade Slaf for Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Hey, I'm going to tell you a trade that happened before I got to Pittsburgh. Eddie Johnston traded a Swede to L.A. for Kevin Stevens. That was the worst mistake the L.A. Kings could have ever made. Could you imagine in his prime, Kevin Stevens playing with Wayne Gretzky?
Wow.
Montreal might not have had a cup in 1993. That was Kevin's prime. He was popping 40 and 50 goals at a pace like that was unbelievable. I'm just telling you. The guy's name was Anders Hawkinson. I'm just telling you. Eddie Johnson made that trade. It's to Max's point. And I remember when Barry Peterson was traded by Boston to Vancouver for Cam Neely. You don't think Vancouver would like that Cam Neely?
Yeah, I remember that trade.
You don't trade those players. You don't do that stuff.
That was crazy. You're right about that. Wow. Those are some deals, let me tell you. All right, okay. Next up. What does Texier bring to the lineup? I actually liked him early on in the first period. I thought he had jump. He actually put the puck between Hedman's legs, and like, wow, they had a great first shift. That guys that line of Demidov, Kapanen, and I think it was Demidov that found Kapanen in close, and Johansson made a save. Who, by the way, played his second game in as many nights. Victor Hedman left this game, by the way, guys, and never came back. They finished the game with 5 defensemen. I think they played the last 2 periods with 5 defensemen, as a matter of fact, to make matters worse for the Canadiens.
Yeah, but that's why I said that's where, if you're a coach, especially an assistant coach, you're telling your guys, take a bite out of some of those D. They're down to 5D. I didn't see anybody get touched.
And Kucherov played 24 minutes the night before at forward. I thought Tampa Bay was going to be tired, but man, oh man, that's unbelievable. Guys, 2 more questions.
Let's not forget they're missing McDonough and Chernak.
Yes. How far out is there's no doubt in my mind that the Tampa Bay Lightning on paper are a better team than the Montreal Canadiens. They sported a second line tonight of Braden Point with Jake Gensel and Nick Paul. They sported number 1 line of Anthony Cirelli with Nikita Kucherov and Brandon Hagel. They're still a good team, guys. Back to that question. How far out is Ryan Backer from being NHL ready? Obviously, they didn't think he was ready to make the jump this time. They didn't call him up.
I don't think he's played enough hockey yet. I think he's got to play a little bit more. He's got to grind it out.
One more. At what point does the lack of scoring from the bottom six become a problem that requires remedy? Max, you first.
I don't care about the scoring. I care about the effort and what a role player is supposed to do, which is bring energy, physicality, and emotion to the game. I don't want to see a bottom six playing like they're Ivan Demidov. I want to see a bottom six play like they're there and they're scared to lose their jobs.
Identity matters so much with your bottom six players. Clutterbuck, Cizikas, and Martin with the New York Islanders. I just keep throwing them out there. They start every single period. They create mayhem. I'll go back to even Detroit. McCarty, Draper, Maltby. They create mayhem all over the ice.
Carrier, Roy, Colasar.
No, c'est vrai.
This is the type of line.
C'est vrai.
So, Pierre, answer the question. What does Texier bring to the lineup?
He can shoot the puck, and he's slick, but he's not bringing any physicality to the party. I'll tell you that. But he can shoot the puck, and he's a slickster. He's slick.
Max Lapierre, I will see you tomorrow night on La Poche Bleue on all
social
media platforms. I have your Slushbuster already. It's already packed, signed, sealed, delivered, everything. You'll get it tomorrow night. And I'll see you because you are going live at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Who will be joining us?
Gilbert Delorme, PC Labrie, Pascal Leclerc, Dave Morissette. That's Max Vanout. We're going to have Dr. Stats again. Probably has a few things about the defensive zone coverage. So a full show tomorrow. And I got to...
I was going to say, why don't you tell Moose to dress for a couple games? Moose Morissette. He'd bring a little energy to the party.
I've seen a few fights. He was dangerous.
Oh, he was
the Moose.
Moose
there was no wrestling there.
No.
He beat the late great Bob Probert in a fight, and Bob didn't lose too many.
Nope.
One punch, huh?
He did not.
Bob Probert didn't lose too many.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
Pierre, where did you have Bob Probert on your list of heavyweights?
Well, he'd be in the top 5, but see, my number one guy, because I grew up watching, was John Ferguson Sr. I saw John Ferguson Sr. one night at the Forum beat up Bobby Hull so bad. There was blood all over the ice. It was unbelievable. Everybody I talked to from that era, they were petrified of John Ferguson Sr. They were absolutely petrified of him.
Pierre Maguire, thank you so much for staying overtime as well. You can call Pittsburgh now.
Tomorrow morning.
just tell us if it's the kid coming to Montreal, okay?
You guys are unbelievable. Thank you very much. Talk to you Thursday.
Hey, you know how bad I'm hoping that call was Mario Lemieux saying, "Hey, Pierre, that guy in Montreal, Tony Marinaro, I really like him. I'd love to get a jersey over to him signed." 66 Lemieux. Well, chances are it's not happening.
Is that what you want? Is that what you really want?
I'd love to have a Mario Lemieux jersey.
Okay, so I'm going to this fantasy camp from March the 22nd to the 26th.
I'll get you the jersey.
No. If you would like that, I think I know somebody that can get it done.
Okay, that'd be unbelievable. By the way, speaking of the Penguins, I believe it was a week ago, but happy belated birthday to Eddie Johnston, who turned 90 last week.
90 years old. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, what a guy. Eddie's an amazing hockey man. Amazing hocky man.
Yeah. And so are you, Pierre Maguire. Thank you very much, Pierre.
Thank you.
The best,
Thank
guys.
Good
job, Pierre.
Thank you, Max Lapierre. We started this podcast at 10 p.m. and it's 11:30 p.m. And I could go on longer, but I didn't want to keep Max Lapierre and Pierre Maguire on too much longer because I didn't want to take advantage of them. But I'm not going to lie to you. I don't feel like getting off. I don't think I can go to bed right now. The adrenaline is so high. By the time I actually get to bed, I don't know. There's so much in this game to talk about. I'll just say this. I'm saying I'll just say this, but I know I'm going to end up saying more. By the way, we are right now 2,000 watching on YouTube live and 5,000 watching on Twitter. So more than 7,000. And I kind of feel like if I get off right now, I'm kind of letting down 7,000 people, even though we've given them a good 90 minutes of podcast up until now. So I'll go with a few thoughts, and then we'll call it a night. I tweeted this right at the end of the game. And I tweeted that the Canadiens have played 29 games. They have 15 wins and 14 losses. In those 14 losses, they gave up 4 goals 4 times, 5 goals 3 times, 7 goals twice, 6 goals twice, and 8 goals once. So that means that in 10 of the 14 losses, they gave up between 4 and 8 goals in those games. And I tweeted their defensive play and their goaltending, especially in these losses, is a serious problem. A serious problem. And moments after that, I guess the Montreal Canadiens agreed with me, and I guess they agreed with everyone else as well. That tweet was sent at 9:40 p.m. 9:40 p.m. that tweet was sent by myself. The Montreal Canadiens announced via Twitter 35 minutes after that, at 10:15 p.m., that they've recalled Owen Beck, Adam Engstrom, and Jacob Fowler from the Laval Rocket. Now, I have my eye right now on the YouTube chat. As a matter of fact, can I bring in Shane Gaumont at Master Control? Can I do that? Shane, why don't you join me? He's probably in pajamas right now. Oh, he can't come on right now, he says. He just can't come on right now. Hold on a second. Max Lapierre keeps on calling me. Hold on a second. Yeah, Max. Okay. Put Max back on. Can you put Max back on, Shane Gaumont? I think we have something. Folks, don't go anywhere. Max is disconnected right now. So Max is going to have to reconnect. I think we have somebody else. Is Brian Wilde there?
Hey, how you doing? I never left. I watched the whole show. You guys were fantastic. Max was hilarious. And then I got on the Metro, and then I listened in the Metro too. I don't know how this shit works. Why does that work 3 floors down? I'm like 150 feet underground, and it's still working. I'm listening to Max, Pierre, having a great time with you guys. And now I'm on my couch. It's cold out, though, boys.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, it's cold.
Okay, first of all, I've seen Tony's number. I heard when I was disconnecting, I'm like, I cannot leave him alone here. He's not going.
I know
to sleep.
he was almost going to cry.
I want you guys to be quiet for a moment because we've been chirping Pierre Maguire about his ringtone, and I just want you guys to hear this. It was you, Tony Marinaro. It's you.
It was me with the vibrator?
It was you.
No, it can't be. Nobody was calling me.
It was you.
No, it was Pierre. Pierre even said it himself. He even said it himself.
I think everybody's got that tone. It's like the Apple default one when you get a call.
You're right.
Wow.
It's a classic.
Okay, hold on a second. Why don't you do this? Brian Wilde and Max.
You guys
Lapierre.
need more lights? I can give you more lights.
No, we're good. Brian and Max, take over for a second because this has kicked in.
Oh, he's got to pee, man.
Give me a second.
Hey, let's see how long you can hold it.
Oh my God! Do you want to see my place? No, I'm kidding.
What's
no, I'm home already.
That's weird.
Just walking around. No, yeah. I didn't mean that way. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my God, you're funny. That's weird.
Tony was talking about people like kind of chirping Montembeault when he made that save from the red line.
It wasn't that loud.
It wasn't exactly. It wasn't that bad,
loud.
Right?
It was like I've heard like Carey Price got chirped worse than that, dude.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
You're right.
I mean, he was the greatest goalie, well, Patrick Waugh. Well, it's Jacques Plante. There's been a lot of goalies. And these ones are not in that category. But
Yeah.
so it was nothing, honestly. And you got 21,000 people in there. Even though by that time maybe it was only 12. But the point is, I mean, there's always going to be 100. Even when the goalie's pushing a 970, there are going to be 100 guys giving the Bronx cheer.
Yeah, you're
right?
right. Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready for overtime.
Did you go to the bathroom?
Wilde is here.
Tony, when you left,
yeah,
Brian went right away and said, "You want to see my plays?"
Yeah, he's taking that out of context, Tony.
I'm just kidding.
He's making me sound really bad there. He's taking that out of context.
Okay, let's do this. I want to play a game with you guys. Hold on a second. There we go. Grab the Sharpies.
What team is that on your hoodie? Is that the Elks?
It's the Edmonton Elks.
Are you a fan or?
Well, I'm from Edmonton. So
oh yeah, I didn't know that.
All right.
Explain some things, eh?
Yeah.
Tony. Brian.
Oh boy.
Max. All right. Next game, Fowler.
Yes.
Fowler.
They didn't call him up to not play.
That's what I think. I think it's logical, but I'll ask you anyway. Fowler.
Uh-huh.
All right. Okay. Brian, Engstrom, is he in? And if so, for who?
Oh, that's a good one. Engstrom for Xhekaj. I don't think you go from the 4-hole to out of the lineup. What do you think?
Engstrom for Xhekaj. Max, you say what?
Struble for me.
Whoa, but he's going from the 4-hole right out of the lineup.
I agree with Max.
Wow.
Jaden Struble tonight was a -2. Arber Xhekaj was even. Tonight's the first night that Arber Xhekaj actually got more playing time than Jaden Struble. And Arber Xhekaj had 5 hits in tonight's hockey game, and Jaden Struble had 1 hit in tonight's hockey game. I got Engstrom for Struble as well. As a matter of fact, I think Engstrom is going to play with Lane Hudson next game, and Max Lapierre thinks that Engstrom is going to play with Dobson and that Hudson's going to play with Matheson.
I love Max's suggestion about splitting those two up. It's a great change to make as far as resetting things. They got to do something, and all that does is kind of the best point, gives Lane somebody to play with where he can elevate his game instead of feel he's got to protect someone. That's massive.
Max, did you say you saw Beck in for Joe Valeno?
That was Pierre who said that.
Yeah, that's a tough call here. I feel like there's many options. Like take Valeno, take Davidson, who played, I think, a pretty okay game tonight. I think
I got Beck in for Davidson.
Yeah,
Brian.
I have Beck in for Davidson too. Yeah, he was not effective tonight.
Yeah, easiest decision, I think.
And being a super easy decision, waiver wire, all that stuff. That's a no-brainer, really. For me, it's going to be Davidson.
You know what? There's 3 options for me. You take a young guy out. You send a message to a veteran, or you rest a veteran at one point. Because a guy like Brendan Gallagher, you look at the calendar, December and January, like you can't do this to a veteran player like that. He's going to have an injury at one point.
When you look at the future roster and Hage and Jarofsky come in and then Dak and Newhook come back, I think that's a team that's managed the salary cap so well that they can have 3 scoring lines. But eventually, you've got to really assess that this team does not bring enough grit in their back 6. And nobody thinks it's fun and exciting and whatever, but boy, it's winning hockey. You have some grit in your back 6, and they just don't have any.
We're going to get to that in just a second. But, guys, with Fowler up, do you expect Jacob Dobish to be sent down to the Laval Rocket tomorrow?
No.
You don't? Well, what are they going to do for the numbers game?
Oh, you're right, yeah.
Right now, they're filling 20. I mean, I'm asking a question I should have the answer for, but right now they're filling 22 of 23, right?
Yeah.
Like, they got a spot available, so you could be right, Max.
By the way, people want us to know, and I already knew this, but I thank them, that Patrick Waugh and Carey Price started their careers versus the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Who?
Yeah.
Patrick and who? You said two names, right?
Yeah.
Carey Price.
Oh, wow. That's special. That's kind of that's weird. Have you ever seen a quick call up like that? And sometimes it means a trade too, huh?
That's true.
Like,
I don't think there's going to be a trade, though. I'd be really surprised. It's the wrong time of year. It's the wrong time of the season. So many teams think that they're in the playoff hunt. I mean, how many teams have we eliminated from the playoffs, essentially? Like, spiritually. Obviously, not mathematically.
Calgary,
Nashville, 2. St. Louis, maybe, but I don't think so. I think they can still get some goaltending and be a good team. Like, they got 2 guys at 860.
Buffalo, Vancouver.
Vancouver, I think, has given up. I mean, I keep hearing Hughes rumors. So, yeah. So 3-4 teams, that's not a lot of marketplace, but who knows? Could happen.
Guys, and Pierre Maguire brought it up, okay? The Anaheim Ducks are unbelievable this season.
Yes.
Tonight, they won again.
Yes. Seneca.
Beckett Seneca, yes. Shootout 4-3 over the Pittsburgh Penguins, okay? Everyone talks about the young nucleus, the young prospects, the young team that are the Montreal Canadiens. There's another young team, the Anaheim Ducks. If I
list their back 6.
If I take a look at their league standings, the Anaheim Ducks are what, 6th in the National Hockey League or something like that? Are they 6th in the National Hockey League? Let me just see here. 6th in the National Hockey League. They are 4th in the National Hockey League. 4th. They're actually tied for 3rd. Okay. The Canadiens are 17th.
Well,
the job that Joel Kenville has done, guys, I have to ask Brian, how much of the Canadian shortcomings are you putting on the staff?
Which staff? The coaching staff?
The Canadians coaching staff.
Not a lot, actually. I'm going to put it on Eric, though, for sure. I mean, 2 guys that are, bottom 5 in the league. So I got to put something on the goaltender, coach, for sure.
But when you say,
I don't know, I put some weight on the fact that they lost 3 really important guys. Now they got a lot of guys in the wrong seat as a result, you know. And as far as the construction of the team, like and putting it on Gorton and Hughes, I just think that the construction of the team 3 lines in and 4D in is pretty good, but they didn't get enough toughness. They don't have enough grit. We all saw what happened against the Capitals, and we've seen it every single game now that people think that when they're big, they have the formula. Like, people are walking into this building and they have the same idea every single time. Push these guys around. They don't have enough size. But they have made it, I'm going to call out Hughes here. I think Jake Evans, that was a mistake. I don't think you pay a guy that deep, that low in the roster, $2.85 million. I'm sorry. It's too much money.
Did you think that last year?
Yes, I did. I called that right even when he was scoring. I thought this is the perfect, this is like the time it always happens where the guy's playing the best hockey he's ever played. And you're thinking about signing him right there. And then you think you got a 25 goal scorer. The scuttlebutt on Twitter and Blue Sky was, you got to get this guy. Don't let this guy go. Now he's one of the worst plus minuses in the league. And he's on a line that right now just doesn't have enough toughness. So I don't know.
I thought it was a good contract last year. And obviously it doesn't look good right now. I think this has been a bad season for Jake Evans.
Well, he gets no offensive zone starts, none.
Some players have good seasons and bad seasons all the time. I think he'll bounce back next year, and I think that contract will be tradable next year. So I don't really have a problem with it all that much. For me, I'm more concerned about Gallagher's got a year and a half left with the Canadiens, guys. He's laboring.
Yeah, but I mean, at one point, it's just because the line is not working. Like at the beginning, you remember, Tony, let's be honest here. We had a few shows where we started the show with Gallagher. Every time he's on the line does well, right? Like the first few games, like he had energy, he was okay. It is not a normal schedule right now. It's not normal. It's worse for a guy like Gallagher. That's what I said. Bring Beck tomorrow, give him a rest. Skip 1 or 2 games. That doesn't mean it's a punishment. We know the guy. He works all the time. He gives everything he has. But sometimes being rested is really good as well for a player that plays this type of game with a small stature, right? He's a small player that's playing a big game. So he's gonna understand that. Like, hey, Gally, like you're banged up a little bit. Like your skating is affected. Like your energy a little bit. Maybe just skip 1-2 games. You did nothing wrong. You'll be back soon. That's okay.
Brian, when I talked about the Anaheim Ducks, you talked about their defense. Do you believe Anaheim's defense is much better than the Canadiens?
I'm looking at it right now. I just went to Puckpedia because I wanted to call up the depth chart.
Yeah.
Bowman Trouba is the top pair. Zellweger, he was pretty good junior. He's with Gudas, and Gudas provides toughness all the time. He scares the shit out of people. He's nuts, right? You got to have a guy that's nuts on your team. It helps.
So I'm glad you're saying this. Okay,
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you why. And by the way, I think Radko Gudas is the player on Anaheim that I believe is probably has the second least time on ice of like the defenseman that they've used this season. Okay. But even at that, like their defense, their top 6. Nobody plays better. Nobody plays under 16 minutes, though. What they have that the Canadiens don't have is their 5 and their 6 play 16 to 17 minutes a game. The Canadiens 5 and 6 don't.
Right.
They don't get that much.
Yeah, but if you look at the talent level of that defense, I don't think it's superior to the Canadiens at all. I'd rather have the Canadiens defense.
But here's the thing, though. Trouba and Gudas.
But I'd rather have their back 6. Trouba
and Gudas. They play their game, and if the wires touch, the wires touch. They haven't changed the way they play. They were psychotic in the way they play when they came in. They're psychotic in the way they play now. They got some Dave Manson, and they got some like in them type of thing. And you know what? If they catch you, they'll rip your head off.
Can I make one point about Anaheim? One point about Anaheim here that I'm just checking.
Yes.
Because people are saying to me, like, Buffalo's been rebuilding forever. What's going on there? And the answer is they don't have any veteran presence. Kreider, 34 years of age, balances off Carlson's 20 on that line, right?
Yeah.
So right away, you've got some experience there. Granlund, you got some experience there at 33. Their fourth line, Vetranos 31, Strome 32, Killorn 36. I'm not saying old men win cups or anything, but I'm saying they bring experience. They have an understanding of how you win games. On the blue line, Gudas 35, Trouba 31. What's the difference between this team finding a lot of success in Anaheim, and it's surprising everybody because the balance is, Carlson and Gauthier and McTavish and Seneca are learning how to play super fast. Well, they're learning under the tutelage of experienced players that know how to win, who've been in winning positions, whereas the Buffalo Sabres have built it, and I don't know if they ever thought there was a value in a veteran who knew how to teach anything. And one of the things maybe the Canadiens are missing right now, believe it or not, is David Savard.
Yeah, Pierre Maguire believes that.
So you got to learn from somebody, and you can't listen to your coach 24 hours a day.
You're 100%. Everything coming from a teammate is always even better than the coach. But
that's it, Max.
I'll answer my own question. Max, who do you want to play with? You want to play with Montreal's defense or Anaheim's defense? I want to play with Montreal's defense. Max, who do you want to play against in the playoff? I want to play against Montreal's defense. Right?
Wow. You know what? That was a good point. That was a really good point.
So it's kind of tricky, but I love Montreal's defense. But on a 7-game series, Trouba and Gudas are annoying. Like big time.
Yeah.
Well, and it reminds of Paul Maurice's quote, right?
Yeah.
The famous one, quit trying to make plays, wear those fuckers down.
Yeah.
So by the time they hit Game 7, they'll have nothing left.
Exactly, and so that's Max's point. He doesn't think by Game 7, Matheson and Dobson have worn anybody down, and certainly Hudson hasn't worn anybody down. And that's the point I'm making over and over and over again ad nauseum: is they're just not tough enough.
You know, sometimes on teams you find defensemen that get you to the playoffs, and you find defensemen that get you through the playoffs. Right now, the defensemen that Anaheim's banking on getting them through the playoffs, the Gudas and the Trubas of the world, are actually also getting them to the playoffs. Anaheim's amazing. Anaheim's amazing to watch. Like, I've talked about the Canadiens, that they're going to be a cup contender for the next 10 to 12 years. I'm willing to bet the house that in the next 10 to 12 years, Anaheim's going to win 1 to 2 cups. I'm willing to bet the house. I don't see how they're not going to be able to do it. And by the way, they think they're going to be able to do it too, because when they hired Joe Kenville, they hired Joe Kenville to win Stanley Cups. So by the way, Joe Kenville went there because he saw that team and said, I can win Stanley Cups with this team.
I was talking to somebody important in the Ducks organization, and they were saying, though, you're talking in the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, but they were saying the window is in the next 2 to 3 years because of the big contracts coming up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So some guys are going to sign some serious deals here.
Right? The next time, by the way, you talk to the janitor at the Honda Center in Anaheim, can you ask him about the corridors?
He said the ice is good.
Hey, Max, question for you then. You're talking, I like your point about Anaheim's who would you like to play in the playoffs versus the regular season? Don't you think, if you look at it, I'll call it up for you. I'm sure you got the names in your head here. Give me a second. That Buffalo Sabres have the exact same problem. Like, that's a good young defense, but do they scare anybody?
Nope. No.
There you go.
And look at the teams that won cups. Like, it was Florida. Like, it's not like they're scary, but Ekblad and these guys, they at one point they realized in their career that you need to give cross checks once in a while, and you need to be physical. Tampa, when they won, like, Edmund is a big guy. Doesn't mean he's the scariest guy, but he's a big, heavy defenseman, tough to move.
Yeah.
Cernak, like all these guys, they're tough. Who else won? Like St. Louis, when they won the cup, it was Baumister. Like, it was all the big D's. Like, it was tough to. Was he? I think he had his health problem. He was in the stands or something when they won the cup. But like the defense is important.
But guys, I want to, if we can, I want to get back to Fowler for a second here, okay? Although we all said you got nothing to lose, and although we all said they didn't bring him up for no reason, although we all said we put him in there on Thursday night in Pittsburgh versus the Penguins, this guy's expecting, like, that a big part of the fan base are crossing their fingers and hoping to God that this guy's ready. And think of the pressure. Like, it's almost like a fan base is expecting him to be a savior, because this thing is going downhill this season, and it's going downhill fast. And I know, Max, that you're probably going to say that, pressure, he can handle it. He's got to this point. But are you at all concerned by that? I mean, let's be honest here. They have 2 goalies who can't stop anything right now.
I think it's the best timing ever, because first, he's young, but he's looking around, and the coach, all he has, and I don't want to disrespect the other guys, are going through a tough time, but the coach, Marty, just has to say, man, it cannot be worse. So just go and have fun. It can't be worse in that.
I'm going to speak from the point of view of talking to a lot of athletes over 42 years doing this job. And the best of them, they all got the attitude of Michael Jordan. That's it. Like, I can do this. This is my moment. This is what I trained for. I'm the goddamn best, and I'm about to show it to you. Like, you want this. You want this. And if you're a goalie, when you're the last line of defense and you're either a hero or a GOAT, you got to have even more of the attitude that Michael Jordan did. And so it's going to come to pass sooner or later, whether you have the emotional makeup and the mental makeup to do it or not. So bring it on. Let's see what he's got.
And I love the kid, but once again, I mean, the team in front of him is not going to be playing the way Laval plays in front of him. He's going to realize that right away on Thursday night.
We'll see, Tony. There's only one way to see what the kids got. It's to play
Yeah.
him. And just a little point, like we were talking about defense. The last time the Canadians went into the finals, Edmondson, Chariot, Weber, like
And Petrie.
Petrie. Yeah, but I'm talking about tough defensemen. Like,
Yes.
Well, we went all the way to the finals. We had Carey, obviously, and all that goaltending, but we still had a young team. It was
Yes.
Suzuki and Caulfield scoring the big goals. And
Yes, but they didn't have a winning record, Max. On a regular season, they weren't making the playoffs. They got in on the COVID year.
it doesn't matter. My point, Tony, is when you have these type of guys in the playoffs, you will find a way to win.
Actually, I think it adds to Mac's point, Tony, because he's trying to make the suggestion that that toughness even carries on even more in the postseason than the regular season. So, they weren't great in the regular season, but then the game changes completely to what the Capitals did to the Canadiens in the playoffs. And those guys in 2021 found the success on the back of how the game changed. Basically, I mean, we saw what happened for 2 months. Like Shea Weber was cross-checking everything that moved and didn't get called a single time for a penalty, right?
Yeah.
The guy could have a broken back and Shea would pick him up and throw him over the boards and it wouldn't be a penalty.
By the way, guys, Josh Anderson hasn't fought all that often this season.
It was way too late tonight. Way too late. It meant nothing.
And it was way too late, and it meant nothing. And you could tell it's like he's like, okay, I got to do this because
You got to get me out of this game.
I probably got to show I care. But you think he could be battling an injury? He hasn't looked himself this year at all. Like, I mean, is it just the fact that they lost? And by the way, we're going to go 2 more minutes so that we can hit midnight and we're off. Okay. But is it just the fact that they lost?
Easy, Cinderella.
Is it that
I want to see that glass shoes on you, Tony.
It's just he's looked off. Jake Evans has looked off. Samuel Montembeault's looked off. So basically, hold on a second. I got it. Brian, you ready for this?
Yeah.
I got it now. I got it. Montembeault's looked off. Jake Evans has looked off. Josh Anderson's looked off. Patrick Laine, when he was in there, looked off, right? All right, guys?
Yeah.
Don't get married, folks. Don't get married. They all got married in the summer, right? It was just a little joke, right? They all got married in the summer. But
whether a guy gets injured.
Nick Suzuki got married in the summer too, and he's having a pretty good season.
When a guy is injured, it's like a sports announcer's nightmare because you're shitting all over him, and then you find out he had a pulled groin for 3 months. You just feel like an asshole. Like there's no way around it. You know what I mean, Max?
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting there hammering Max, and you're listening to me hammering Max for a month. I'm saying Max isn't playing good. Max is doing that bad. Max just isn't up there, and you just want to say, Brown, I'd love to take you aside in the corner of this room and get you to shut the F up because I can't actually skate. My groin is so bad and I need an operation. Yeah, it's a tough moment. Like when a guy's injured, you wish he hadn't said all those negative things, but you don't know. You got to do the job, and so yeah, I agree. They got term left on their contracts and they're going to be painful because the guys waiting in the wings to replace them are there. They're going to be there. They're going to be ready.
Yep.
So
right.
I don't know if they're going to make it to the end.
I just think at one point though, like if you're hurt and it affects your team, it's as a pro, you need to take the big decision that you can go.
Did you?
Well, I didn't because I never had like injuries that were keeping me away from skating. But like a shoulder is a thing, a wrist is one thing, a concussion. But then when you can actually, let's say it's a groin, a knee, and you cannot skate,
right?
You got to get out.
Yeah.
Actually, I missed 2 or 3 games in St. Louis for a knee injury. I was trying, but I was really slow and I was hurting the team. You don't want to be the one that makes the team lose 3 games and you don't make the playoffs, right? Like
Anderson missed a couple of practices too this year. Too.
That's usually how you can tell, right? Who's missing practices? Who needs therapy days? That's the obvious indicator that something may be wrong.
And by the way, I was obviously joking about the whole marriage thing, but I will say this.
No, you weren't.
No, you weren't.
I know.
Don't back off from your joke.
Have some pride, buddy.
And this, I'm not joking about. Jake Evans had twins, and I would imagine that father duties have kicked in, and he's probably
That's
lost
tough.
it.
That I will agree. It's really tough. The first kids in the NHL, when you don't sleep,
Yeah.
ooh, like when it like in the middle of the night. This is the first time I took a coffee. Actually, I was in St. Louis first, baby. I went down one morning and I look at the coffee machine. I said, we're starting a relationship here, man. First coffee ever. First coffee.
That's
I was
funny.
walking downstairs. I'm like, there's no way I can practice today.
That's unbelievable. Guys, we hit midnight, so I think everyone's pretty happy with our performance tonight because we went for a 2-hour post-game show, and I can't thank you guys enough. But I think it was, desperate times call for desperate measures. Tonight was a 4-point game, and the Montreal Canadiens laid an egg, guys. Dobish let in 3 goals in period number 1. Montembeault let in the first goal on his first shot. He let in 3 goals in the game as well. The Canadiens lose by a score of 6-1. At the end of the game, Adam Engstrom, Owen Beck, and Jacob Fowler get called up by the Montreal Canadiens. There's so many storylines to this one, guys. I thought we had to go longer tonight, and we did. So I think pretty much everyone is happy. Brian Wilde, I can't thank you enough. I very much appreciate it.
Good job,
Max
Brian.
Lapierre, I appreciate it as well.
Max.
Thank you,
very much.
Sandor Marino.
Thank you.
Go find your slipper. It's midnight.
Yeah, and
We're
Max,
back in the pumpkin.
I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll bring you your Slushbuster. Thanks so
Thank you,
much.
sir.
We'll talk to you
Bye-bye.
soon.
Don't
All right,
forget
there you
my
have it.
gift.
Max Lapierre will be on with a Push Bleu tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time live on YouTube and on Facebook and on Twitter. And you can listen to him on all social media platforms. And I'll be back at the same time as well, same time as usual, Monday to Friday in English at 10 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, and I'll also be back tomorrow morning, du lundi au vendredi à 10h le matin. And tomorrow morning for my French show on this same YouTube channel. And by the way, if you haven't watched it yet, but if you speak French or you understand French, give it a watch. I think you're really going to enjoy it. We have different collaborators on that show than we have on this show. And I think you're really going to love the show tomorrow. Tomorrow, my panel will be Simon the Snake Boisvert, former NHL goalie Martin St, TVA Sports reporter Anthony Martineau, and former NHLer and now with La Poche Bleu Blanc Rouge, Eric Bélanger. So tomorrow morning on Le Sick Podcast at 10 o'clock in the morning en français, Simon the Snake Boisvert, Martin Biron, Anthony Martineau, and Eric Bélanger. For Brian Wilde, Maxim Lapierre, Pierre Maguire, and Shane Gaumont on Master Control, I want to thank all of our sponsors for their support. I want to thank you all for watching. And if you like the podcast tonight, leave us a 5-star review. It's our way of feeling the love. It's a sick podcast. Canadiens lose by a score of 6-1. And yeah, if there was ever any doubt, their defensive play, their defensive coverage, and their goaltending are in serious, serious trouble. They better figure it out because they got another big game coming up on Thursday night in Pittsburgh versus Sid the Kid, who makes a lot of hockey teams look bad. Good news is Malkin is out. The bad news is Sid could beat you by himself. Ciao for now.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts. The Sick Podcast is brought to you by Energy Transportation Group, driven to be different. LaVie.tv. Embrace your true nature. And Playground, your premier gaming destination.